It's time for Angels Spring Training Baseball this afternoon from Tempe Diablo Stadium. The Angels get ready to take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. It is indeed our pleasure here on this Friday, a special edition of our pregame show. Terry Smith along with Jose Mota and Angels General Manager Jerry Dipoto. Jerry, thanks for spending some time with us. Got a lot of topics we want to get into with you today. First up, let's talk a little bit about Albert Pujols. What's impressed you the most with him this spring?
I think clearly the work ethic, the intensity he brings to the ballpark every day, what he's done to impact this club in a lot of different ways. And I don't want to downsize or downgrade what he does on the field, but everything else has been a huge advantage for us.
Jerry, the name Bobby Abreu continues to surface. You deal with other GMs on a daily basis. What is the latest with Bobby Abreu and his Angel situation?
Bobby's on our club, Jose, and that's been stated fairly clearly from the start. We talk to other teams every day, and we'll continue to.
Okay, let's talk about pitching. And the former pitcher, it's going to be exciting for you to see the development of the younger guys, but also the core group with the first four in a nice battle for number 5. Where are we with that?
It's been tremendous to watch. I think everybody's really pitched their tails off this spring. And, you know, obviously we just sent down Brad Mills this morning. Garrett Richards, Jerome Williams are in the hunt right now. Trevor Bell will pitch today. So we had a quartet of pitchers competing for the spot. They've all done a tremendous job, and it's going to have to play out this last week.
Jerry, you know, there were a lot of question marks going into this camp. Some of them appear to be getting answered. One was the health of Kendrys Morales. How excited are you with what you've seen from him this spring?
Boy, it's been tremendous. I didn't get to see last year's version of Kendrys Morales. I've seen the healthy version of Kendrys. He's swinging the bat like the healthy version.
All right, now what about Mark Trumbo, the experiment going into spring training at third base? How is he passing that experiment?
With flying colors right now. He is doing everything in his power to pick up a new position very quickly. And, I've made the statement he's come eons in a short period of time, and that's a credit to his makeup and to the work everybody's put in with him.
And Joe, you like competition. You see some things going out to the last minute here. Guys say it is our job to make it tougher for the guys making the decisions. A Cantu, an Amarisa, a Jepson. Tell me about what you see there happening here in the last days of camp.
I think one of the better stories we've had this spring is the kind of spring that Jorge Cantu is having, how well Alexi Amarista has played. Some of the young guys, Cole Calhoun, made it very difficult for a young guy coming from A-ball. So you want to have that level of competition. It keeps everybody on a higher level and with a different edge. And, Jorge, Alexi, Ryan Langerhans, these guys are going to come down to this last week, and they've all made the decisions particularly difficult.
You've been in other organizations. You joined an organization that has a set foundation of success. Philosophy-wise, how much did you try to learn? How much are you seeing incorporated from your side and all those things?
For the most part, I came into this spring wanting to just sit back and observe. Mike has run such a good camp, and they've done it here for so many years. And I wanted to make sure that I didn't come in and overpower them with too many different ideas. The one thing we did do a lot about is we talked about a two-strike approach in the batter's box. And it's something we've incorporated in our daily approach and with our daily drills. Outside of that, it's a pretty simple game. Throw strikes, get hits, score runs, and don't allow too many, and we'll be okay.
Jerry, let's talk about some of the young players we've seen in camp. You mentioned Cole Calhoun. There have been some others. I thought Amarista's really played well, might have won a spot on the roster when it's all said and done. Talk about some of the young guys who have maybe opened up your eyes a little bit.
Oh, there have been many. I think off the top of my head, Cole Calhoun had a tremendous camp. Taylor Lindsay, who started out as a non-roster invite, coming from short season ball, did nothing but hit during the course of time he was here, and he's made tremendous progress defensively. As we get into the pitching ranks, we saw some young guys that gave us reason to believe, whether Daniel Tillman, David Carpenter had a very nice spring and a very short look, and impressed. I think some of the guys coming over from the other side, Kevin Johnson here lately has really put a press on, and you have something to build toward. Randall Gritchick, Caleb Cowart, guys that are coming over for brief at-bats. They've given us a lot of reason to be excited about what's coming in the future.
One other piece you added during the offseason, and there were quite a few, was Chris Iannetta. Talk about his spring and how he's adjusting to a whole new pitching staff.
I think that's the primary focus for Chris. He takes his defense very seriously. He's been focused on learning what is a very diverse pitching staff. Everybody does it a little bit differently. There's not one single way to go out and deal with the Weavers, the Herons, the Santanas, the Wilsons, and he spent a lot of time in one-on-one meetings discussing with them their plan and approach to pitching. He's handled it very well, and he's swung the bat very well.
Jerry, what is it like to be day-to-day facing and talking to and picking the brains of a guy like Mike Scioscia, considering the respect you've had for him throughout your life?
That's tremendous. I enjoy the conversations. I think we had a great rapport. As I said to Mike, this is my job, is to make sure that the car is full of gas, that I pull it into the driveway and then throw you the keys. And Mike's track record speaks for itself. He's great with the players. He runs a great clubhouse, and there's a terrific environment around here, and I wouldn't want to change that.
Albert Pujols, we've got to get back to him because the impact has been tremendous with the attendance, with the jerseys, everything. But is there something you didn't know about him, perhaps from the work habit aspect that you're finding out about Albert?
I think the nicest thing I can say about Albert is that Albert is one of the best players in baseball, has been for a number of years, arguably the best over the course of the last decade. He's the first guy here in the morning most mornings. He's the guy in there that's busting his tail like he's a 22-year-old trying to make a roster. He sets an example in his work habits that streams through from the time on the backfields, running through defensive drills, to the time spent in the cage with Mickey in the morning, to what he does out here on the field. There's so much consistency and intensity to what he brings. I find it to be phenomenal because that's typically not common of the guy who has the track record that Albert has.
Jerry, as we wrap it up today, Jason Isringhausen was added to the 40-man roster. Does that mean he makes the opening day roster?
Yep, Jason will be on our club. He was informed of that this morning. Some new nuances in the collective bargaining agreement that forced the decision today. Jason he's been terrific for our young guys in the bullpen. He's thrown the ball progressively better as he's gotten here, and he's coming off a year where, as I've said before, he's dominated right-handed hitters.
Jerry, really appreciate the visit. Opening day a week from today at the Big A. I know you're excited, we're excited, and certainly the Angel fans are excited.
Looking forward to when they count.
We will have the start of today's game, the starting lineups. It's the Angels and the Arizona Diamondbacks, and it's coming up next on Fox Sports West. And we welcome those of you watching on Fox Sports West. Angels taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks today here in Tempe, a sold-out crowd. Terry Smith along with Jose Mota with you on a beautiful Friday afternoon for baseball.
Terry, good to see you again.
Good to see you,
How
Jose.
you doing,
we
man?
missed you the last couple of days.
Hey, good job by Langs, man.
Yep, we enjoyed having Mark Langston on the broadcast, and we're going to have another added treat today. Mark Gubicza will be coming in for a couple of innings with us on the broadcast as well. So we are ready for baseball. C.J. Wilson dusts off the pitching rubber as he likes to do before throwing his first pitch every inning. And here's the first pitch of today's game, and that one is right in there for a called strike on Willie Bloomquist. We're underway, the count 0-1. 82 degrees at game time today. Wilson this spring, a 2-0 record in his 4 starts with the Angels. He's also pitched in the minors, and there's one that's cut on and fouled back behind the plate. So the count 0-2 on Bloomquist. Willie Bloomquist will be playing a lot of shortstop, at least when the season begins for Arizona. Stephen Drew, their starting shortstop, coming back from the right ankle fracture back in July of last season, so he is still recovering from that injury. As that pitch misses, it's 1-2. Lundqvist now 34 years old. He's hitting only .212 this spring. He hit .266 a year ago for the D-backs. Here's the 1-2, and that one is cut on and missed. A high fastball got him swinging, struck him out.
Well, that's what C.J. Wilson has been doing. And, coming onto the broadcast, I was talking about setting up hitters, and he goes with a high fastball here. Opponent's hitting only 160 against C.J. here this spring, and his numbers are absolutely fabulous.
C.J. Wilson, a guy who throws a lot of pitches. Fastball, sinker, slider, cut fastball, curve, split finger fastball. He's also added a changeup this spring, and that pitch is in there for a called strike on Aaron Hill.
He's hoping to use that changeup more and more as the season goes on.
So he gives you just about the entire kitchen sink as far as his pitches. There's a chopper hit to third right at Callaspo, and he will easily throw out Aaron Hill. 2 quick outs, no one on, and Justin Upton will be the next batter.
There's another thing we've been seeing a lot of from C.J. Wilson. Ground ball, especially from right-handed batters to the left side of the infield. All due to a lot of guys getting jammed on his cut fastball. A lot of guys rolling over on his two-seam fastball.
Upton will step up. Upton had a very good year for the D-backs last season. He's only 24 years old. He hit 31 homers, drove in 88 runs, hit .289. First pitch, high and away, a fastball misses. 1-0 the count.
This is pure raw power at home plate right here. Still learning the game.
Here's the 1-0, and that's another one high and away, misses ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes.
What a talented player. Working hard in the outfield to become a little more reliable out there. He can hit the ball a long ways with the best.
So it's 2 balls, no strikes on Upton. If he gets on, Montero, their catcher, is the cleanup batter. Next pitch, that's cut on and fouled back to the screen. So it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
See that swing right there? As a hitting coach, Don Baylor, of course, former Angel All-Star. He's got to be proud of this. Let's call a cookie right down the middle. You air it out. And that's that time I was talking about too. Getting to this point in spring training when hitters are ready, and that timing is getting clicked in a little tighter.
2-1 pitch, and that is a wild pitch. That one went all the way back to the backstop in midair.
That is called a let me air it out. I saw that big swing. Let me try to throw it a little harder. Surprising thing is, as powerful as Upton is, no home runs so far this spring.
Right. Yep. He has 4 RBIs. He's hitting .283, but yeah, homerless in the Cactus League. 3-1 pitch. He fouls that one off. So the count 3-2. That one looked like I got a piece of Chris Iannetta, the catcher.
Nothing new for Iannetta, and seeing B.J. Upton up there for so many years in the NL West. And playing in 2 ballparks, so very friendly for the hitters, both in Coors Field and Chase Field. But Iannetta's seen quite a few of this guy's bat.
So Upton digs in, and the 3-2 pitch. He fouls that one off on the right side. So a pretty good battle going on with 2 strikes on the hitter, Justin Upton. And making a nice grab, getting a souvenir baseball.
I think CJ's got him set up well for something off speed down.
Infield is back. The outfield is straight away. The 3-2 once again. He got him, swung on and missed. He fooled him right there, struck him out, and the inning is over.
There was.
Strong inning right there for Wilson. He stayed away from the fastball. In the inning, no runs, hits, or errors. Nobody left. We're headed to the bottom of the first inning. There's no score in Tempe on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. We go to the bottom of the first inning. First batter up will be Eric Ibar. This copyrighted broadcast presented by authority of Angels Baseball may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball. So Josh Colmenter ready to work. He has kind of an unusual pitching motion. He is a right-hander. And he is set to deliver the first pitch. And he is straight overhand with the first pitch and misses low. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
That's what you call, as you described, Terry, truly overhand delivery. A lot of parts flying at you. The glove, the heel, the front arm, everything.
Here comes the 1-0. And that one's right in there for a called strike.
And all those parts add to something. He does have a plus changeup. Really hides the ball very well. Not going to overpower you with that fastball either.
1 ball, 1 strike. Colmenter's next pitch, and that one is fouled off. The story behind his very unusual delivery, it's a funky delivery, I guess, a way to describe it. When he was a youngster growing up in Michigan, he used to throw hatchets in the woods growing up in Michigan. And he has that same type of throwing motion with a baseball now.
Stays with you.
Yeah.
Well, it worked very well. Did a fine job with him pitching into the playoffs last year.
So the count's 2-2, and here comes the next pitch. That one is lifted in the air and hit well into right center field. Chasing is Young and also Upton, and that one is out by the wall and off the wall. Going into second and headed for third is Ibar. He'll get there without a throw, and it's a leadoff triple to start off the Angels' first inning.
It seems like the Angels' first innings continue to get better and better. That's already 3 triples this spring for Eric Ibar. A wonderful approach on getting the ball that he can handle, waiting on it, and really trusting those hands.
Ibar had 3 hits yesterday. The Angels had 20 hits as a team and beat Kansas City here yesterday 11-8. So a good start. Leadoff triple. Howie has a chance to drive in Ibar. Right-hander against right-hander. Kendrick is hitting .404 this spring, batting in front of Albert Pujols. The pitch, he drives one deep into center field. Young is going back on that one, still back out of here. The Angels have the thunder going in the first inning today. 2 batters in, it's 2-0 Angels.
That is a nice, crisp swing by Howie Kendrick. Using the middle of the field, that's nothing new for him. Infield playing back, stays with a simple approach. But the best thing going here for the Angels with 2 batters, Josh Colmenter is a fly ball pitcher. And you can see both balls are in the air, hit very hard.
So it brings up Pujols. The Angels slugged 3 home runs yesterday and had them back to back to back. And the pitch, Albert takes that one for a called strike.
Very interesting lining up of the defense on the right side. First baseman is way, way, way off the bat.
Sure is.
Haven't seen this before.
There's the pitch. It's in there for a strike. Pujols not too happy with that call. He's quickly in the hole, 0-2. Morales waiting on deck. The 2-strike delivery on Albert. He takes inside, 1-2.
Colmenter will be averaging around 87, 88 miles an hour.
He's set. Here's the next pitch, the 1-2 delivery, and it's smacked on the third base side. That is a fair ball, and it skips off the glove of Roberts after it took a hop in front of him. No throw. And Pujols is on at first base. We'll see how they score that one. Even if he fielded the ball cleanly, it took so much time on that high hop to get out to him that there was no guarantee he'd get a throw to first in time. So it could be a hit, even though the ball should have at least been stopped cleanly by Roberts.
Should be a hit only because you got to consider, as official scorer, where he was playing. And just like they were taking that hole between first and second away from Pujols, they were taking that hole between short and third away from Albert.
It will be scored a hit, and rightfully so. That was not an easy play.
That's when you say, when you're hot, you're hot. Last hit yesterday, a squibbler off the end of the bat. 5 for his last 5.
And here's Kendry's batting, and he takes that pitch for a called strike. Back to the way they were defensing Pujols, Jose, on the right side. You were right on the money. Goldschmidt, the first baseman, was a good 40 feet off the bag. He was almost halfway to second base. That's how far off the bag he was playing. Here's the pitch. And Morales takes that slow and low, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, Angels fans, get used to this. And this is Kendrys Morales, who has forced the Angels' hand into hitting behind Albert. This is not by design. This is a player convincing his manager and the staff that he's ready for this slot here to begin the season.
Torrey Hunter waiting on deck. Here's the next pitch. Morales lifts one in the air in a shallow left field. Should be an easy play for Geraldo Parra, and he puts it away, and that's the first Angel out here in the first inning. Torrey Hunter will bat.
Fly balls are dangerous. Even though, you know, for commenter, Terry, one thing is at home in that ballpark, he was 9-4. On the road is where he had issues. He was 1-6 away from Chase Field. Continues to be a little intriguing.
So here's Torrey, 304 average this spring. Right-hander against right-hander. Angels have an early 2-0 lead. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Here's the pitch. Fouled off to our right, back and out of play.
Oh, what a beautiful load up on that swing by Torrey Hunter, man. Sat back on that back leg and just aired it out.
Torrey has not homered this spring. The Angels as a team have hit 28 home runs now this spring, and today is the 28th Cactus League game for the Halos. Bobby Abreu waiting on deck.
We're going to go back and check and see what the Detroit Tigers had kept up with that pace they had. They had like 10 home runs in the first 4 games.
Right.
And not in the thin air of Arizona, but over in Lakeland, Florida, and other ballparks.
0-1. Torrey takes a low and in.
That is a thick lineup, Terry. And that's without Victor Martinez.
Right.
Those Tigers.
Pretty good 1-2 punch now with Cabrera and Fielder. The meat of that batting order for Detroit. The ball is strike is the count. Infield at double play depth. Outfield is straight away. Here's the pitch, and that one misses again. 2 balls, 1 strike. Dimensions here at Tempe Diablo. 340 down the left side. Down the right side it goes 367. In dead center 410. Power alleys 400 feet. 2-1 pitch. Hunter swings and fouls that one off on the right side, back to the seats and out of play.
You can tell if somebody's sitting on speed. Torrey saw the changeup. The Coleman threw Morales, got him way off balance, and he has been sitting changeup smartly. That's why you see that back leg just inching down a little bit more and then letting go. Gotta like that. Good hitters do guess.
We'll see what comes next to Torrey with the count 2-2. First toss over to first base and back to the bag. And plenty of time goes Albert Pujols.
Terry and the great hitters, most of the time they guess right and they don't miss it. That's the difference. Everybody in baseball guesses.
Yep. Holmenter taking time between pitches with a runner on. Here's the 2-2 and a late swing. Torrey fouls that one off on the right side. So the count level at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I feel right at home, Terry. Right next to you. See, I was in the other booth looking at you yesterday.
That's right.
Yeah.
Good to have you back, Jose.
By the way, nice gesture by Jerry DePoto helping us out in the Fox Sports West Open today. Gave us some very good information about the makeup of the ball club and other stories.
Yeah. We talked about Bobby Abreu, who's waiting on deck. We'll get into that in a moment. The pitch. Torrey fouls one back. This one is headed back near our booth and hits right in front of us. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Good battle going on here between Hunter and Coleman. Fans, subscribe to MLB.TV Premium today and watch over 150 select spring training games live with no blackouts and every regular season game live or on demand on your favorite devices. Visit Angels.com for details. Colementor really slows it down with people on base. We're getting a chance to watch him for the first time. The 2-2 cut on and fouled off again by Torrey on the right side, out of play.
Well, if he's sitting on speed, then he saw the curveball there. So he took another good swing. Colementor about 25% of the time will throw this overhand, true 12-6 curveball. Everything comes from that same window. Overhand.
He's set, looking in for the sign. Torrey waiting patiently in the box, still in there. Colementor is ready, and again the 2-2 pitch. Torrey checks. Did he go around on that one? No. Close pitch. 3-2, the count full. Well, spring training also an opportunity for us to see new pitchers. Who knows? The Angels could face Colementor when these two teams play in the regular season and interleague play.
Yep.
So we have updated our book on him a little bit, Jose. He really slows it down. There goes the runner. The pitch. That one is a rocket shot, foul down the left side. Wow, did he ever hit that ball? We've seen some long home runs here at Tempe Diablo this spring. That was an absolute blast, but way foul.
That is big boy land out there.
Yeah.
Torrey just a little bit out front.
Colementor isn't really fooling too many here in this first inning. There have been some hard hit balls against him in this first.
Gotta be thinking here, let me get jammed. Be a little late.
3-2. There goes Aller. That pitch is lined into left center field. It's going to take a couple of bounces and be stopped out there by Parra. Hustling into second base with a double is Hunter, and runners at second and third. That was a nice at bat right there by Torrey. And here in the first inning, 5 batters into the game. The Angels have hit for the cycle as a team in the first inning. A single, double, triple, and home run, and only 1 out with 2 on.
Just that slight tardiness helps Torrey Hunter. From the long foul ball way out front to this solid line drive with the shortstop's head. And the Angels won't have another run because the guy in left field is one of the best left fielders in baseball, Gerardo Parra. And he did a fine job cutting that ball off.
That was a 10-pitch at bat right there for Torrey Hunter. So here is Bobby Abreu, who has had a tough spring. 4 for 46. The pitch, and he chops that one on the right side. It's a base hit. It's an RBI hit. It's going to score 2 runs, and Abreu delivers. The Angels' lead expands to 4-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. Abreu had 1 RBI all spring, and he gets a pair right there.
It doesn't matter how long you've been around, and that's the case for Bobby Abreu, who came in 4 for 46. This right here is relief. This spells a big sigh of, okay, I got a base hit, I got the RBIs, I've been pressing. He spent a lot of time with Mickey Hatcher in the backfields yesterday. Had an off day from the game, and it's good to see it pay off.
So the batter now is Callaspo. Alberto, switch hitter, batting left. Batter number 7 here in the inning. Only 1 has been retired. The pitch, he takes it outside for ball 1. 25 pitch first inning, and it's far from being over.
Keep in mind, Colementor came in with a 9.75 ERA and an 0-3 record.
Pickoff toss, diving back to the bag goes Bobby Abreu. Well, Mike Scioscia was saying this morning that Abreu did not play yesterday. Kind of had a recharge day yesterday. He had been obviously frustrated. Mental part of his game down as well. Yesterday worked hard with Mickey Hatcher and Jim Eppert, the Angels AAA hitting coach, and they thought they might have spotted a few flaws in his swing, and he looked good his first at bat today.
Some people spreading rumors about a trade that was about to happen between the Angels and the Indians with Bobby Abreu involved.
There he goes, the 1-0 pitch, popped in the air into right field. Coming in after breaking back was the right fielder, and it drops in front of Upton. Abreu got caught in between, going to second and then heading back to first, and then he tried to readjust and move to second, and he'll be thrown out easily. So he was in no man's land right there.
That was a great sell by Upton, who did not hear the bat. It was off the end of the bat. He started back and then came up. But the minute Upton throws his arms up, Bobby Abreu says, well, he's going to catch it. He's coming in. He's got momentum coming in. But sorry for Alberto. No base hit for you.
So it'll be a fielder's choice. The right fielder throwing to the shortstop, covering second to force out Abreu. So Callaspo is on. 2 outs now. At the plate is Iannetta, and the first pitch, he takes that one, and it misses ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
Terry Zaffo in the category. It's been a very strange spring for Bobby.
It sure has. Nothing has come easy for him this spring, that's for sure.
And it doesn't matter how long he's been around. Baseball always has little surprises for you here and there.
Here's the next pitch, and Iannetta hits one on the left side, fielded by Roberts, the third baseman. He'll flip to second. They'll force out Callaspo, and the inning is over on the 5-4 fielder's choice. Good inning, though, for the Angels. 4 runs in the inning. The Angels did it with 5 hits. In the inning, 28 pitches thrown by Colemenser, and in the inning, the Angels will leave 1 runner on base. After 1, the Angels have a 4-0 lead on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans, now it's the perfect time to reserve a suite rental for the upcoming season. Suites offer 12 to 36 guests the opportunity to enjoy the game in an intimate, private, and luxurious atmosphere. Suite rentals now offer all-inclusive food and non-alcoholic beverages. To reserve your suite, call 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com/suites. Miguel Montero will lead it off for the Diamondbacks. He is their catcher, left-handed batter. Had a big year for them a year ago, and he takes that pitch. It's in there for a called strike. Montero hit .282 last season, had 18 home runs. Played in 140 games last year as he fouls that one back to the screen. 0-2 the count.
Stands about 5'10", but he is stocky. He is durable. A true leader for that ball club and a clutch hitter for them. You mentioned numbers with the bat behind the plate. He is superb.
He threw out 40% of would-be base stealers last year as he takes that pitch blown away. C.J. Wilson set him down easily, quietly and quickly in the first inning. He retired all 3 in a row. A couple on strikeouts. He has 2 strikes on Montero here, and he misses outside with that one, 2-2.
Interesting delivery there by CJ. You see him trying to drop down, show the lefty something different. Even his landing was a little awkward. What's he doing?
He's a
CJ being CJ.
He is. He's a colorful guy. He's a character out there on the mound. The 2-2, and that one is cut on and missed. He has another strikeout. Montero down on strikes. 1 away here in the second.
If you just happen to tune in or haven't heard yet, Mike Trout got optioned down to AAA along with lefty Rat Mills. So both Trout and the lefty Mills, who was acquired from Toronto, down to AAA officially. And Jason Isringhausen has been added to the Angels' 40-man roster, which means he will make the ball club.
There's a pitch that misses high for ball 1-0.
I might as well say 25.
Right. Infield is back. The third baseman Callaspo across from the bag. He's in a little bit, and the pitch that's lined over Callaspo's head. And that ball will drop and roll out near the warning track and onto the track. Abreu just getting to it, stopping at second base with a 1-out double. The first hit of the game for the Diamondbacks is Chris Young. Jason Kubel will bat.
Yeah, Terry, he just happened to miss a spot, and good big league hitters will get to it once in a while. Even somebody with a big swing, like Chris Young, who tends to strike out a lot.
So here's Kubel. He signed as a free agent with Arizona, 2-year deal during the offseason. He went to Highland High School, has lived in the past in Calabasas. Left-hander against left-hander. The pitch, and that one is in there for a called strike. You were talking about some of the moves the Angels made today with Isringhausen added to the 40-man roster. That 40-man roster is now complete. There was an opening on it. So now the Angels are stacked with a full 40 on the 40-man roster. Here's the pitch. That one is in there for a strike. So a guy like a Jorge Cantu, who's trying to win a spot on the club, he's not on the 40-man roster right now. We'll see if the Angels have some flexibility. You can work around that sometimes, even though the roster might be at a complete 40. You might have someone go on the 60-day disable list to open up a spot. Here's the pitch. Fouled off on the left side, out of play.
In that regard, there's a lot of time left. This is where you see a lot of movement, and we've seen a lot of transactions already today and the day before. And those spots are priceless. Just we need to maneuver, find out long-term, short-term, DL. You know, there's a short-term DL to begin the season. The Angels might have to use that with a couple of players. We'll see how it all turns out.
2-strike pitch on Kubel. He swings at that one and misses it. Struck him out. So of the 5 outs recorded for Wilson, 4 have come on strikeouts. He had struck out 9 in 14 innings with the Angels this spring coming into the game. Paul Goldschmidt will bat.
C.J. Wilson very tough against 2 good hitting lefties here. Montero and now Kubel. Got to buy them.
Goldschmidt, a first baseman with good power. He will strike out, though. That's a part of his game as well. On the pitch, that one is low and in.
Terry, look at this whole roster for the D-backs. Chris Young, Justin Upton, Paul Goldschmidt. There's a lot of airtime.
Yep.
But also, they can crush mistakes.
Kubel's a guy who will strike out a lot. And he just did. Here's the pitch. That's fouled off on the right side, backing out of play.
We were talking about Callmenter giving the D-backs a nice lift last year, but how about Paul Goldschmidt, what he did for them? Taking over first base. Very good high fastball hitter. And he gets under the ball with the best of them. That long bat.
Here's the next pitch on him, and he fouls that one off. Between the minors, the majors, And last year's postseason, Goldschmidt hit 40 home runs, and he hit 438 last year in the playoffs.
You don't relate a bat to wingspan, but look at the size of that bat. And he's a big man. It's a long bat right there.
Wilson has a chance to strike out the side. Runner at second, and the 2-strike pitch. That one misses high. 2-2 the count.
C.J. Wilson right now on a pace to surpass 90 pitches. And he'll be close to 100 here as we wind down the preseason. His next outing, a little fine-tuning and ready to go.
Wilson taking a little extra time now as he glares in for the sign. Too much time for Goldschmidt. He backs out of the box. The Diamondbacks, they are the defending NL West champs. Montero, their catcher, who led off this inning. Big part of their success last season. One of the 3 left-handed batters in their lineup against CJ. Meeting at the mound wraps up, and CJ begins to look in for the sign. The 2-2 chopped on the third base side, right over the bag. That's a fair ball, and it's also going to be a run. Abreu just getting to the ball down in that left field corner, going into second base with a 2-out, 2-strike RBI hit as Goldschmidt, their second double of the inning, and the Angel lead now at 4-1.
A pretty quick bat from a big man. C.J. Wilson was trying to get that cut fastball right in and under his hands, and just left it too much over the plate.
So the batter is Ryan Roberts. He's their third baseman, and he had a surprisingly good year, playing a lot for them last year. Here's the pitch. He takes that one a little bit inside for ball 1.
Very popular player here in the Valley of the Sun. You look at those arms, they call him Tat Man.
That's right, because all those tattoos.
Very popular.
One ball, no strikes. Wilson wheels around, no pickoff toss. The runner at second is Goldschmidt. CJ is ready. A peek at second, and the next pitch. That one misses high and away. CJ Wilson, he has a few tattoos on his throwing arm.
Both arms. The one on his left arm is a memory of his grandpa.
Two balls and no strikes. Hara waiting on deck, and the pitch, and that one is low. It's 3-0.
Oh, those are true changeup he's trying to tinker with. Threw it 2-0. Hoping Roberts was sitting on the dead red fastball.
So we'll see if he might have a green light here. 3-0, batting at 2 outs.
Gibson will do that. Yes, he will.
Here comes the pitch, and he had the green light. He fouls that one off over on the left side.
There's something I found out before the game today. And Kirk Gibson, of course, 3-0. Most of the time, he's going to let him hack. Great success last year. 98 wins and 64 losses. What a great comeback here after finishing in last place the year before.
So the count's 3-1. Here's the next pitch. That's lined and caught by the shortstop Ibar. A snow cone grab. That was a Gold Glove play right there by the Angels shortstop, and that saves a run, and the inning is over. In the inning, they do get 1 run. They had 2 hits, no errors. They leave a runner in scoring position. Bottom of the second is coming up. 4-1 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Bottom of inning number 2, 4-1 Angels. Peter Borges, the only Angel who didn't bat in the first inning, will lead off the bottom of the second, and he's around the bunt and takes that pitch for a strike. Borges hitting .286 this spring. He's driven in a run. He's had 14 hits and 49 at bats. Josh Colemanter really had a tough first inning. We'll see how he does in the second, and that pitch low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, maybe part of the message was you need to incorporate that curveball a little bit more. Everybody's sitting fastball change. He just missed with that curveball on Borges.
Here comes the 1-1. It's lifted high in the air into left field. Parra is circling under. It's way up there. He's there waiting, and he will squeeze it, and that's the first out. 1 gone, and Eric Ibar is having a nice ball game here in the early going of that sparkling defensive play to rob Roberts of a hit. Ibar's also tripled his only time up. Go back for the second time.
What Ibar told me about that Gold Glove last year? That was last year. Very serious. He goes, that was last year. He goes, I'm moving on.
Well, that's the right attitude, I guess. Here's the pitch. That one is a little bit outside. He can savor that and cherish it when his playing days are done.
Let me tell you,
show it off.
The whole country in the Dominican celebrated that Gold Glove.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Low and away, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes.
Another very cool thing the Angels did this January is guys like Ibar, Santana, Albert, and a lot of the Dominican players went to the academy in the Dominican to give the champion of the Summer League their rings.
That was nice. There's a low line drive that was stopped nicely by Goldschmidt, and he picks the ball up and rushes to the bag in time. That was a nice defensive play by the D-backs first baseman. That's the second out.
Excellent job. Keep that glove in front before it hits there. Very nice job by Goldschmidt. So how about that, Jester? Huh?
Very nice.
General Manager Jerry Dipoto, along with part of the staff, went down there and made some big league players hand the rings to their rookie ball team in the Dominican, who won the Summer League championship.
Yep. The Angels Dominican Summer League team, they had a terrific record last year. There's a pitch. It's in there for a called strike. It's 0-1. And here comes the 1-strike pitch. Howie with the bunt pushed out near the mound, barehanded by the pitcher Colemanter. He made a nice play on that, and that will end the inning. So the Angels go down there quickly and quietly. Only 8 pitches thrown by Colemanter here in the second. No runs, hits, or errors. Nobody left. We're headed to the third. Angels have a 4-1 lead on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans, don't forget, groups of 25 or more can enjoy exciting Angels baseball for as low as $6 per seat. This year, when group tickets are purchased, each member will receive an Angels hat for a select series. To book your group outing, call 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com/groups. We get ready to move to the third inning. We mentioned a little bit earlier, Mark Gubicza with us here, and Gooby's going to take over for Jose for a few innings. Always good to see an old childhood buddy.
Oh, Terry, it's great to be around here with you once again. It's great to be able to see some games here live and the way they've been playing, the way they've been hitting the baseball.
Yep. Angels yesterday, 20 hits, 11 runs, 4 on the board already today after just a couple innings. Parra will lead it off. He bats from the left side, and the first pitch, that one is cut on and fouled back behind the plate. What have you liked so far from CJ?
Well, I like the fact that I know he's been working hard on his changeup, but his fastball velocity, although granted a couple up in the strike zone early in this game here, but I like he's challenging with the fastball. His breakable has been good, the cut fastball, and he works quick, throws a lot of strikes, and gives him an opportunity to guys behind him to make the plays.
Here's the next pitch. That one's right in there for a called strike. Parra was taking. He's in the hole. It's 0-2. Wilson with a tune-up here before the Angels will be leaving Arizona in a few days. Some of the regulars, CJ included, will leave a little bit earlier. The Angels' final Cactus League game will be Sunday. The count's 1-2 on Parra as Wilson okays the sign. He's set, delivers, and that one missed just a little bit high. It's 2-2.
Yeah, Terry, I always felt this was the most important game for a starting pitcher. You know, that second to the last start, you're going to have one more start, but you're going to really try to stretch it out today. And that's why you see Mike Butcher, Mike Sosa really keeping an eye on C.J. Wilson as he tries to expand the amount of pitches he's going to throw, and of course hone all those pitches he has as far as the secondary pitches.
He's set on the 2-2. Parra tried to hold up on a high one there, struck him out. So Wilson has faced 9 batters so far, and he has struck out 5 of them. And it'll bring up Bloomquist, who struck out his first time up. The Angels are hoping CJ will go somewhere around 7 innings, 90 pitches today.
Well, anytime you get a hitter to have a check swing on a pitch elevated like that, tells you your stuff's pretty good.
Yeah. So Bloomquist will bat. He went down swinging his first time up, and he looks at that breaking ball. It's in there for a strike. Another sellout crowd on hand today here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. The next pitch, and he threw that one by him. It's 0-2. The Angels are playing their 14th home game here at Tempe Diablo, with one more home game remaining after this one. That'll be Sunday. The 0-2, high and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, you can see he really feels that fastball today, going up in the strike zone. Challenging hitters going right down the middle part of the plate. Feels good about his stuff today.
1-2 pitch. That's low and in. 2-2 the count. Wilson backs off the pitching mound and heads back to the pitching rubber. He's looking down to the ground right now. Looks like he's trying to collect his thoughts out there. Now he's looking in for the sign. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and he's high and away with that one. It's a full count.
And sometimes you see pitchers deal with that dead arm issue you see in spring training. Dan Herron mentioned that this last time out, where you feel like you can challenge hitters or throw the fastball by him, but your arm just doesn't feel quite right. And a couple of his breakables that came right back with his fastball once again with good movement.
Yep. That pitch swung on and missed by Bloomquist. He's a strikeout victim for the second time, and Wilson has number 6 here through the first 10 batters. So his arm is looking like it has a lot of life right now. He's been throwing the ball by people. Hill will be the next batter, and he grounded out to third his first time up. Here's the pitch. That's right in there for a called strike. Aaron Hill, we saw him for a number of years with Toronto, and he got dealt over to the D-backs last season. There's a pitch that's outside. Former first-round pick of the Blue Jays back in '03, Aaron Hill. He was once drafted by the Angels. That was back in 2000. He was a 7th-round pick of the Angels, but did not sign with the Halos. The 1-1. And that's right in there for a called strike.
Yeah, Hill's a guy that always had tremendous power, especially when you make a mistake with the fastball. But if you can get him to expand the zone with all-speed pitches, you can get him out.
Been an all-star. That was back in 09. And the next pitch, he fouls that one off over by his dugout. So the count stays at 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the Angels bat in the bottom of the 3rd, leading 4-1. Pujols, Morales, and Hunter slated to bat against Colementor. The pitch, and this one is popped in the air in a shallow right center. Howie goes back, and he makes a nice running over the shoulder grab. The inning is over. So Wilson sets him down here in the 3rd inning. 1-2-3. We're headed to the bottom of the 3rd as we go there. It's 4-1 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Vance Kaiser Permanente Family Sundays at the Big A are the perfect way to spend time with your family on the weekend. Free activities for the kids include a wide variety of games and arts and crafts. The first Family Sunday takes place on April the 8th. To purchase your tickets, visit the Angels Stadium ticket office or angels.com. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Albert Pujols will lead it off. Here's the first pitch from Colementor, and that one is right in there for a strike. We were talking, Jose and I, Mark, about the unusual delivery of Colementor. Is there anybody he possibly reminds you of the way he throws his pitches?
You know, we were just talking about it. It's almost like one of those Iron Mike pitching machines straight over the top. But he's one of those guys, like, remember Chris Young, who used to be with the Padres and, of course, with the Mets trying to come back from an injury. Not overpowering, but because of right over the top, you think you see the fastball, but then it jumps on you. But he's right around 88 to 90 range, which is certainly not overpowering, but it's that little bit of deception where you think you're going to get that fastball, but that last little giddy up on it gets by you or pops it up.
Pitch is fouled back by Albert. It's now 1-2. Let's pause for station identification on the Angels Baseball Network. Terry Smith, Mark Gubasa, and Darren Chan, our producer engineer, with you here from Tempe Diablo. Next pitch, Albert rips one foul back to the seats and out of play. He scorched that one.
Well, we had a good side view of his mechanics there, how it comes right over the top. But the reality is it's really difficult to create movement on the fastball. So your other pitches, whether it be a changeup or curveball, have to be very effective from that same arm slot to get big league hitters out. And he's been successful in the big leagues and every single season in the minor leagues too, getting people out by throwing strikes.
So 1-2, up and in. It'll dust off pitch right there. Albert walks out of the batter's circle.
Right over the top, hides the ball well, but then that fastball runs in on you. He has to be able to pitch inside for him to be effective again because there's not a ton of movement on the fastball.
2-2. Albert hits one sharply, but right to the third baseman. Roberts has it. His throw was sailing a little bit on Goldschmidt, but he keeps the foot on the bag, and that will be the first out. So a 5-3 ground out. Colemanter, after getting off to the shaky start in this ball game, giving up 5 hits to the first 6 batters. He's now put together a string of 6 in a row, retired, and the batter will be Kendrys Morales. Morales popped out to left to par his first time up. Switch hitter batting left-handed. Here's the pitch on him, and he takes that one for a strike. Boy, it's been fun seeing Morales back in the Angel lineup, Mark. He had a home run yesterday, and he has really looked good at the plate.
Boy, every time you look up, 2-3 hits, and the way he's driving the baseball, the smile back on his face, and above all, the protection he gives Albert Pujols in that lineup. But granted, when he's batting right-handed, he may move down a little bit in the lineup, but the reality is having him in that presence in your everyday lineup is going to make this lineup that much better, and it's certainly been swinging the bat extremely well here in spring training.
Really has. The 2-strike delivery on him, and Morales grounds one by the mound out near short. It's gobbled up by Blomquist. His throw is going to be in time as Goldschmidt did another good job to keep the foot on the bag there as that throw was sailing on him. The first baseman, that's the second out. So 2 gone. Torrey Hunter will bat. Torrey's already had a double, and he scored a run today.
Well, that was a great at bat. Was it a 10-pitch at bat for him too? Fouled off some tough pitches and crushed that double. Looks in great shape.
He's had a nice spring for the Angels. First pitch on Hunter. That one is low and away, ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Outfielder straight away. The infield back with 2 outs. Here's the next pitch, and Torrey rips one foul on the left side. It's been interesting to watch where they've been positioning Goldschmidt, the first baseman, here in this game. He is playing so far off the bag. You just never see that.
No, I mean, you assume that every one of the hitters from the right side from the Angels are going to pull the ball, but yeah, I mean, that's a long way to go to cover the base. You better be in good shape in spring training. All those drills you do as far as a first baseman to flip throw over the pitcher covering the bag, it's going to be an extremely long throw.
Right. Here's the next one. That's fouled off. He's almost halfway between first and second where he's positioning himself defensively, the first baseman.
Yeah, the one thing odd about that is a lot of times, especially with a right-handed pitcher on the mound, you're going to fall towards first base. So you're going to almost have that part of the infield covered. So I always felt that it's better to have the first baseman closer to the base to take that potential double down the right field line. Even a miss swing, they can hit it down the line, it ends up being a double. You got a guy in scoring position.
2-strike delivery on Torrey, low, blocked by Montero, the catcher. Albert Pujols likes to play off the bag as well, but not as far over as we've been seeing Goldschmidt play today, the D-backs first baseman. So Colemanter has a new baseball. He's set to come in. Here's his 2-2 on Hunter. He chops one on the right side. He finds a hole and grounds it into right field for a 2-out hit. Even though they were playing him in that vicinity, he was able to poke it in between Goldschmidt and Hill, and Torrey is 2 for 2.
Boy, Torrey did a great job pointing that out, and I guess he has to play a little bit further over there in the hole to be able to make that play. That ball was hit extremely well, and the positive about that for Torrey Hunter, the way he's swinging the bat, his hands quick through the zone, let the baseball travel deep enough where he can hit a ball hard to right field, which is an encouraging sign for him.
So here's Abreu, who has singled in a pair of runs today. Bobby is 1 for 1. He had only 1 RBI all spring until the 2-run single in the bottom of the first. The pitch, and Abreu looks it over. It's in there for a strike. If you were to believe the reports that were flying around late yesterday afternoon and early in the evening, you kind of wondered if Bobby Abreu would even be in an Angel uniform today.
Yeah, you heard rumors about the Cleveland Indians, and this is the time of the year where veteran players and even some of your younger players, that your name's going to be bandied around as far as trade rumors, because everyone's trying to get that 25-man roster set for when they go to another city before the start of the actual opening day. So the reality is there's some moves to be made still for the Angels in a number of clubs. So you'll still see some names bandied around a lot here in the last couple days.
We talked to Jerry DiPoto earlier today, and he did not confirm any of those rumors, although he did say we talked to a lot of teams about a lot of players. That's as far as he went. He didn't single out Abreu as possibly being a guy that's been discussed. The pitch that's outside, it's 1 ball, 1 strike. But the one thing that has evolved here in spring training is that you just kind of wonder where Abreu fits in and how many bats he's going to be able to get as the season goes on if he is an Angel.
Well, I mean, guys have come up and performed. Kendrys Morales, who knew how well he was going to swing after being out for that long a period of time.
Exactly.
I mean, it doesn't look like he's missed a beat.
Right.
And, of course, you got Mark Trumbo really fitting into that third base position. We know his power and what he can do at the plate, but he's been very good as far as fielding position, coming in on baseballs, laterally moving right to left at third base. So there's really not a lot of positions where Bobby's going to get an opportunity to be able to swing the bat.
1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs. The Angels batting in the bottom of the third, up 4-1. A toss over to first base. Torrey gets back to the bag. At this stage of his career, Abreu is not even a guy that you would even necessarily use as a late inning defensive replacement, and the Angels have Gold Glove caliber outfielders to begin with.
Both in left and right, and of course I felt in center field last year should have been a Gold Glover and Peter Borges.
Right. Here's the next pitch. That's lined into left center. That's going to fall in for a hit. Torrey is going to make a turn and head for third. He better hurry. Here comes the throw. He is safe. So Abreu has his second hit, and the Angels have something brewing with 2 outs. Callaspo will be the next batter.
Well, a real good, solid approach for like Bobby there. If you want to have other teams interested in your services, it's having these 2 good at bats. Granted, in spring training, he hasn't hit the ball real well for the most part, but today he's hit the ball well, and a good job of Torrey Hunter reading that, seeing that the outfielder is going to have to go to his right there to be able to make the play, and when you see that, you have a better opportunity to advance, and they're still going to go first to third as often as possible, even with all the power in this lineup.
So here's Callaspo. He's reached on a fielder's choice today. He has a chance to drive in a run. He's had a couple of RBIs this spring. Came into the game hitting .313 in the Cactus League. Colementer's pitch, and that's right in there for a called strike. The Angels, as a team, hitting .302 here in the Cactus League. The Angels starting pitchers have posted an ERA of 2.92 this spring, so the starting pitching has been very good as well. 0-1 pitch in there again, and now Callaspo deep in the hole. It's no balls, 2 strikes.
Sir, you've been down there a long time here in spring training watching these games. This offense is pretty dangerous for the Angels. 1 through 9, so many ways they can hurt you.
No doubt. It's been a 20-pitch inning so far for Colementer. It's not over yet. He fakes a pickoff move.
We still have to thank Steve Busby for that move, don't we? Former Royal, that third to first.
He's the guy?
Yeah.
He's the inventor.
Yeah, I'm always thanking him for that one because it really works often.
The delay of game move pretty much is what it's turned out to be. On a rare occasion, you'll see a runner bite and get picked off. 2-strike pitch, low and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Just a beautiful afternoon here in the Valley, and another huge crowd, another sellout crowd. The fan support has been amazing this spring. The Angels today will set an all-time Cactus League attendance record here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. And another home game remaining. The pitch lined, and a fair ball that drops down the right side and rolls down in the corner. 1 run will score. Also coming around is Abreu. He will score. Headed for third base and getting there with a 2-out, 2-run triple is Callaspo. The Angels add on. It's 6-1.
When you talk about depth throughout this entire lineup and guys that may or may not be playing every day coming in and getting some good swings. Bobby Abreu, 2 hits today. that doubles what he's had basically this entire spring. He had 4 hits coming in, 2 today, so he's swinging the bat well today. Callaspo with a triple, so we've seen a double, a triple, and a home run already in this game. This lineup is this, whether it's the whole effect from Albert Pujols or just everyone's confident this year, but the ball is jumping off the bats.
No doubt. The Angels last year were right around the middle of the pack when it came to team batting in the majors, 15th overall in the big leagues in team batting average. There's a pitch on the outside corner. That's a called strike. The Angels team batting average last year was .253. Now you can get caught up in all these spring training numbers, but the Angels certainly appear to be a lot superior hitting club than a year ago. Iannetta waits the 0-1. That one is low and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, you witnessed that game yesterday. You're down 7-0 early in the game. Most times we saw last year that was going to be a difficult task getting back, and right away the offense responds. It allows the pitchers to be more aggressive because they can make a mistake on the mound and still have the offense pick them up. And like I said, 1 through 9, so many ways to score.
Here's the next delivery, and Iannetta pokes one into shallow center field. Coming in and making the grab on that one is the center fielder Chris Young. Or no, that ball was trapped by him there. That's a bloop hit that's going to drive in another run. So a trap on that one. Young tried to sell it. He came all the way into the infield running with the ball, but the signal that he trapped it. And Iannetta has a hit, and the Angels extend the lead. It's now 7-1.
Well, he tried to sell that real well coming in there. It was one of those tough plays where, as an outfielder, you react to the swing itself, thinking it's going to be hit harder, but it ends up falling in front. The sound off the bat says it's crushed, but in reality, it was just off the end.
So the lead continues to grow. The Angels had a 4-run first inning, and now a 3-run third, and lead by 6 here, 7-1. And all of this coming after Comenter had retired the first 2 batters. He's given up 4 straight 2-out hits. Here's Borges batting. Angels picking up where they left off yesterday with the big offensive day, and that one is in there for a strike.
Another good sign, seeing that we saw a few years ago when the Angels were successful at the plate, getting a lot of 2-out base hits. This one, the pitcher thinks he's through the inning, you get that base hit, and the next thing you know, you look up, you've already given up another 3 runs.
Here's the next delivery. That's lifted down the right field side. A long run for Upton. He chases in foul ground, but it's a few rows back to the seats and out of play. So the count 0-2 on Peter. There is no action for the D-backs. They want to get some pitches and innings out of Comenter here, as he is getting a tune-up, as we're a week away from the start of the regular season for most of the teams. Of course, there have been a couple of games played in Japan between Oakland and Seattle. They split that 2-game series. Those games count. Here's the pitch. Grounded on the left side, fielded by Roberts. He'll flip to second. They'll force out Iannetta, and the inning is over on the 5-4 fielder's choice. So in the inning, a total of 28 pitches thrown by Comenter. The Angels get 3 runs, doing it with 4 hits in the inning, no errors. And in the inning, the Angels wind up leaving a runner on base. We've completed 3, and it's 7-1 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans at Jiffy Lube, they do so much more than just oil changes. And with over 120 Jiffy Lube locations around Southern California, you can always find one near you. Visit JiffyLubeSoCal.com or the location nearest you. That's JiffyLubeSoCal.com. Fourth inning, 7-1 Angels. The Angels with 7 runs, 9 hits, no errors. The Diamondbacks 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. C.J. Wilson getting ready to work here in the fourth. First batter he faces is Justin Upton, and the first pitch. That one is a pitch he takes for a strike. It's 0-1. Upton, Montero, and Young meet of the batting order for the D-backs. Here's the 1-strike pitch. A little bit low and inside.
Well, one thing I've noticed you saying a lot so far in this game for C.J. Wilson, Terry, is 0-1, which is an important thing. Mike Butcher really preaches that as far as getting ahead of the count, allows you to, use your next pitch, get it out of the strike zone, get an easy out with your next pitch.
There's a ground ball just out of the reach of Ibar and through into left field. So Upton has his first hit today, and for the first time today, the Diamondbacks have their leadoff batter on. It brings up Montero. That's their third hit in this game against C.J. Wilson, who's already struck out 6 batters. He's had a pair of strikeouts in each of the first 3 innings.
What, that Justin Upton has some pop in his bat. Every ball he hits seems to be hard. Last year, when you look back at some of the most majestic home runs hit during the season, a number of his home runs were the ones up there.
Yep. He had a lot of extra base hits. He had 75 extra base hits last year, the 3rd highest total by any National League hitter. He's the runner at first, and boy, Montero took a wicked cut at that pitch and misses it for strike 1. Flashing the signs down the third base side is Matt Williams. They have a lot of big name former players coaching on this staff here, this Diamondback staff. That pitch is low, and Iannetta couldn't find it, but the base runner Upton wasn't sure what to do, so he holds at first base.
That's one of those things now as a pitcher, when you see that baseball in the dirt and a catcher trying to find location, you have to tell him a spot, because if you say behind you, he starts running back, he doesn't know exactly where to go. You have to say either the left-handed batter's box, the right-handed batter's box, or right behind the plate, the best way to communicate with your catcher.
1-1 the count on Montero. Montero developing into one of the better catchers in the game. He had a big year last year at the pitch. He takes that one low. Wilson kind of stumbled on the follow through out there on the mound. Just kicking the dirt around a little bit. Manager of the Diamondbacks is Kirk Gibson. His bench coach is Alan Trammell. I mentioned the third base coach is Matt Williams. Don Baylor is the hitting coach. Charles Nagy, a pretty good pitcher, one time a pitching coach in the Angels system. He is the D-backs pitching coach. And the next delivery to Montero, he lines one foul down the left side.
Yeah, those guys bringing back a lot of bad memories for me, Terry. I think I'm in a number of their books as far as home runs allowed.
Wow.
But don't tell them that, please.
Well, Don Baylor hit a lot off of a lot of good pitchers.
Yeah. I remember I hit him one time right on the arm with a pretty good fastball, and he didn't even flinch. I said, I'm in trouble.
Wow.
Next time up, about 450 feet. I was just glad he didn't charge me. That's all I was happy.
There you go. The Angels infield at double play depth. 2 balls and 2 strikes here on Montero. Next pitch, he takes that one low. And the count's 3-2. Once again, that landing spot posing a little bit of a problem for CJ. He was kicking around at the dirt after that last pitch.
Again, a lot of times that the other pitcher's landing in a similar type of area, and Colementer's a little bit taller guy, so longer stride, he might be landing in the wrong spot on that mound, and that's why you feel the discomfort at times when you're releasing the baseball.
Lob throw over to first base. Upton gets back to the bag. Upton had 21 stolen bases last year. Wilson is yet to walk a batter, and so far this spring he's now pitched 17 innings and he's walked only 2, but he has a full count here on Montero, and the pitch And that one's bounced off of CJ's glove. It slows the ball down. The flip to second, and it's late. Plus the ball never was handled cleanly there by Howie. So CJ, in getting his glove on it to stop it, in a way that worked against him, because Ibar was kind of positioned maybe to make at least an out somewhere, and it'll be an infield hit, and they have runners at first and second.
Yeah, a lot of times you see a pitcher, you're always going to try to react to make the play. But again, if you look back as far as before you release the baseball, you know where your middle infielders are set up. And that probably would have been, even though it was hit well, it would have been a double play.
So they have 2 on. The Angels have a 7-1 lead. We're in the 4th. Chris Young will be the batter. He's had a double and he scored a run. Right-handed batter. Here's the pitch, and checking the swing is Young, and he went around for a strike. Chris Young, his teammates call him CY. Those are his initials. Guy who will strike out a lot. He also had a career high 80 walks last season, but he struck out 139 times. Here's the pitch, and this one is lifted in the air into center field. Coming in is Borges. It's not hit very deep at all, so the runners will have to hold on the fly out, and that's the first out.
Well, that's a great pitch by CJ. Ran that fastball, some good cheese on the inner part of the plate. A guy with a lot of power, but in looking for the fastball. But when you get the fastball and you locate it well, it's still the best pitch in baseball with that movement and velocity, especially that CJ has.
Jason Kubel will be the next batter. Kubel shifts leagues, going from Minnesota to Arizona here in 2012. He dealt with some injuries last season. He played in only 99 games. Here's the pitch, and he lines one. It's caught by Howie. Fires to first. They double up the base runner Montero, and the inning is over on the line-out double play. So that'll do it for the Diamondbacks here in the top of the 4th inning. No runs in the inning. They had a pair of hits, no errors. They leave 1 runner on base. We are headed to the bottom of the 4th as we go there. 7-1 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Bottom of the 4th we go. Welk Resorts and Angels Radio AM 830 have teamed up to bring you the official AM 830 fan club. Get AM 830 event and team news and updates all season long. Log on to am830fanclub.com. That's am830fanclub.com. First batter for the Angels is Eric Ibar as he gets ready to bat for the third time in this game. We're only in the fourth inning. Ibar has tripled, scored a run, and grounded out, so he's 1 for 2. Terry Smith, Mark Gubason, our producer engineer Darren Chan with you for Friday afternoon baseball here in the Valley. The pitch. Ibar with a bunt. He pushes it out to the pitcher, though, and Colementer will easily throw him out. One pitch and one quick out in the Angels' fourth.
And the right idea, but again, when you have a tall right-handed pitcher, he's going to be falling towards that first base side, so you really have to bunt that ball a little bit harder than normal to be able to get it by a pitcher and force the second baseman to be able to field that ball. If that's the case, Ibar's going to get another infield base hit.
Here's Howie. Kendrick has already homered today, and he's bounced one back to the pitcher as well. 1 for 2. The home run was his 4th this spring, and he takes the first pitch low. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, the impressive thing about that swing, that ball is the dead center field with great carry. That's just a perfect swing for Howie, hitting the ball up the middle, and he's hitting it with authority.
Here he pulls the ball to third. It's gobbled up by the third baseman. Roberts' throw was sailing, but again, a nice play by Goldschmidt to keep the foot on the bag. That's the second out.
Goldschmidt's made some nice plays over first. Pretty tall target to be able to make that throw across. It's so important. A lot of times it's not looked upon as a necessary thing, having a good solid defender at first, but it saves a lot of bad throws and of course long innings against your pitching staff.
Now where Pujols will bat. Colementer so far in this game, he hasn't walked or struck out anyone. The Angels have had 9 hits and 7 runs against them. Here's the pitch on Albert. That's low and outside. Pujols had a 4 for 4 day yesterday. Got a hit his first time up today, and then his last time up last inning, he grounded out. The pitch. He lifts one high and deep into left field. He put a charge into that one. You can kiss it goodbye. Out of here. Home run, Albert Pujols. The Angels' second home run of the day. Albert connects for the 5th time this spring. The Angels add on. It's now 8-1.
Boy, how super quick is he at that plate? I mean, he sets up pitchers so well. Whether you throw a curveball in the dirt, he just tracks it, doesn't even think about swinging. Then he gets a pitch where you don't locate it exactly where you want to, and he just crushed that ball at the left center field.
So Pujols, I mentioned he had the 4 for 4 day yesterday. He didn't have any home runs, but he drove in 3. He's hit one out of the ballpark here in this one. And at the plate now is Morales, and he fouled the first pitch off for strike 1.
I'm sorry, what about that? As soon as he comes into the dugout, he's already talking to somebody. Was Eric Ibar about that swing? He's not only a great player, but he's a teacher during the course of a game, which is so important to have a guy like that. Not many superstars or guys that are willing to give out information, even to their own teammates, because they don't want to, think in terms of, I'll get myself out eventually. He's always helping everyone out.
Yep. Here's the 1-1 on Morales. He takes that one low and outside. It's just fantastic here in Arizona. You see when the Angels take batting practice in the morning, and Albert's group, the camaraderie of his new teammates. Pitch on its way. That one's fouled back on the left side, backing out of play. I remember David Eckstein told me a couple weeks ago when he was here as a visiting instructor for the Angels. He said the thing that impressed him, not only how great a player that Albert was, and Eckstein was a teammate of his with the Cardinals, he said this guy is an absolute leader in the clubhouse. And he was saying across the board, position players, pitchers, commands respect. Pitch on its way. That one is popped on the left side. The third baseman Roberts in pursuit, but he's going to run out of room.
You're exactly right, Terry. There's a lot of great players in all sports, but not many of them are great teachers and leaders. And clearly, Albert Pujols is that guy. I mean, just to be able to sit there and talk to him on the bench in between at bats.
Right.
I mean, not many people have that kind of advantage to be able to do that.
2-2 on Morales. 8-1 Angels. Been a rough day for Colementer. He's still out there throwing, though, in the pitch. That one's high and away outside. Colementer this spring has now pitched, well, just shy of 16 innings. And he has given up 27 hits and 21 earned runs. There's a pitch cut on and missed by Morales, and he is down on strikes, and that is going to end the inning. Well, Gooby, always a pleasure visiting with you. We look forward to you and Victor on Fox Sports West all season long, and thanks for dropping in the booth today.
I appreciate you letting me come there and hang with you, man. It's been a while.
All right, Mark Lewis with us. Jose will be back when we get back for the 5th inning. As we head there, it's 8-1 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans, the second annual Angels 5K and Fun Run will take place April the 22nd. Participants will run and walk on a baseball-themed course that goes through the Big A and finishes at FanFest. All participants receive a commemorative shirt and a voucher for a future Angels game. Sign up today at angels.com/5K, and proceeds from the event will benefit the Angels Baseball Foundation. We're ready to go as we start the 5th inning, and at the plate is Paul Goldschmidt for the Diamondbacks. The first pitch from C.J. Wilson, a ball. It's 1-0.
Well, Terry, all C.J. can hope for is I hope this happens during the regular season. Give us some breathing room here in the first 5 innings.
They have given him some breathing room, all right. A 7-run cushion to work with now here in the 5th. The 1-1 on Goldschmidt, and that is a called strike on the outside corner.
Hey, any good Philly stories between you and Gooby that went on that I missed?
Gooby and I, we were just bonding here. I haven't seen too much of Gooby this spring, so here's the pitch. Bounce back to the mound. Stopped nicely by the pitcher Wilson, and he goes to first base to rob Goldschmidt of a hit. That was some good, solid defense by the Angel pitcher right there.
That's good reaction by CJ. He knows what happened here early in the spring on a comeback where he threw his bare hand out there, ended up getting knocked around that middle finger, ended up being all right. But on this one, of course, just a reaction. Make sure you get that glove out there.
Ryan Roberts will bat. We'd like to welcome our audience around the world on the Armed Forces Network, watching around the world by the men and women of our U.S. military in 175 countries and ships at sea. We thank you for all your service.
That is wonderful. Hello to all of you, and again, a sincere thank you for all you do for our country.
Just a few years ago, I had the honor and privilege of being on the Nimitz at sea. Yes, I did.
Got a chance to be in the Ranger, USS Ranger, a few years back.
Yeah. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and that is a called strike.
Just superb how you can tie in baseball and spring and the many dreams of our military overseas into their favorite team, surprises, all that stuff. And now with fantasy baseball, let me tell you, man.
I think
the internet, it's a lot easier to follow all this stuff.
I might have told you, Jose, this story. I know you knew my late father. He was in the Battle of the Bulge. Served our country honorably, and having a chance to be on the USS Nimitz, as I mentioned, a highlight of my life. The pitch, that is a high drive. It's lifted deep into left field and gone. A no-doubter right there for Ryan Roberts. And he hits home run number 3 this spring, and a solo shot gets Arizona a little bit closer. It's now 8-2 Angels.
That's the first home run allowed by C.J. Wilson here this spring through 18 1/3 innings. And it was a no-doubter. And this ball still had some downspin as it went out. Absolutely crushed.
So we've had, 3 home runs hit in this ball game. Roberts connecting against Wilson. And, of course, Kendrick and Pujols have homered for the Angels. Here is Parra getting ready to bat. Gerardo Parra at the plate, and the pitch. That one is low and outside. He struck out his first time up.
Got to correct myself. I always call him Gerardo. This guy's Latino, man. This guy's from Venezuela. It's Gerardo Parra.
All right.
I'll give him the Parra, not Parra, but I'll give him that.
There's a pitch that is swung on and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He's a fine player himself.
And he's a guy trying to fit in a bit this year. His name was floating around in a lot of trade rumors.
It's hard to believe.
Yeah.
But when they acquired Jason Kubel, that took a lot of baseball people by surprise because of the job that Parra did last year with the glove and with the bat.
He was a Gold Glover last year in the outfield for the D-backs. 1-2 pitch, and he waves at that one and misses it badly. There was no contest there for the second time, that lefty-lefty matchup, and Parra down on strikes. That's the second out.
Oh, man. Parra, Gerardo. That was an ugly swing. That's how you bounce back from a home run. You see that lefty again, and so far this afternoon, he has been just making life impossible for lefties. Struck out Montero in the second inning, Kubel in the second inning, Parra twice now.
So here's Bloomquist. He's had a tough time figuring out Wilson as well. Twice up with 2 strikeouts. Here's the pitch, and that one is high and away. 1 ball, no strikes.
D-backs really are going to try to fill a large void with Stephen Drew being out. A fine young shortstop.
Here's the pitch. It's fouled back on the right side. That was back in July of last season, July the 20th, in fact, when Stephen Drew broke his ankle, and it was a severe fracture, and he is still not ready to return. The 1-1 bounced on the left side, stopped nicely by Callaspo. His throw right on the money, and that will end the inning. So they do get a run in the inning. 1 hit. That was the home run by Roberts. In the inning, no errors and nobody left. Bottom of the 5th is coming up as we head there. 8-2 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Kids, the Junior Angels Kids Club now accepting members for the 2012 season. For just $18, members receive an exclusive Kids Club hat, an Angels Kookie pen, 2 ticket vouchers, a fast pass for kids to run the bases, and an Albert Pujols water bottle. Sign up today. Visit angels.com/Junior Angels. New pitcher is David Hernandez for the Diamondbacks, and the batter is Torrey Hunter, who takes ball 1. We'll give you Colementer's numbers in a moment. The next pitch, Torrey lines one in the gap in left center field for another hit. Cutting the ball off is Young. Torrey makes a big turn at first, but he'll go back to the bag with a leadoff hit, his 3rd hit of the day. That hit is the 11th for the Angels. Colementer, their starter, and Hunter's going to leave the ball game after that hit. So Ryan Langerhans is going to pinch run for him. Colementer, the starter for Arizona, went 4 innings, gave up 10 hits, 8 runs all earned, didn't walk, and he struck out 1 and surrendered a pair of home runs.
Nice day for Torrey Hunter. Overall, his best game at the plate. He made some good passes at the ball, and I think from that very first at bat, I noticed how much he was sitting on that back leg, and that balance is right where it needs to be.
So here's the pitch on Bobby Abreu, who right now is having his best game of the spring as well at the plate. He's had a pair of hits. He's driven in a pair of runs. He's scored a run. He's 2 for 2. Takes the first pitch from Hernandez, a ball. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Hernandez last year had a very good year in relief for Arizona. That pitch is in there, and the count even 1-1. He was in 74 games last season for the D-backs. And he averaged over a strikeout an inning pitched in relief. His ERA was 3.38. Held opponents to a 193 batting average last year.
The arm has always been there, and a great acquisition in the Mark Reynolds trade. Reynolds going to Baltimore.
There's a pitch on Abreu. That one is low.
I recall when that trade was made, many people said this guy's going to be thrown into the fire with Arizona in that ballpark. Well, you know what? There's something to be said about Kevin Towers and about good scouting. And just what they liked about him. They checked on his health, did all the background, and he responded mightily, taking the ball and striking a lot of people out and holding opponents to an average under 200 last year.
Here's his next pitch, and Abreu lifts one high in the air into shallow left field. Parra is coming in, circling under, puts it away. And on the play, Langerhans, the pinch runner, has to go back to first base. So that's the first time Abreu's been retired. 1 gone here in the bottom of the 5th. The Angels are leading the D-backs 8-2.
As I talk about the D-backs, obviously a well-run organization. We get the feeling, Terry, on what they do here in this community in the Valley of the Sun here in Phoenix and the whole area. And they're following the great ballpark they have. And let's not forget about where Angels general manager Jerry DiPoto came from.
Right.
Derek Hall, their team president, one of the best baseball people around.
Man, what a good guy as well. It's hard not to like that guy.
Came back cancer surgery, prostate cancer. All the best to D. Hall, one of the best.
Here's the pitch on Alberto. He takes that one low and in. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Infield playing it at double play depth. Iannetta waiting on deck, the Angel catcher. Here's the pitch, and that one is in there for a strike. We were mentioning Jerry DiPoto, formerly worked for the D-backs. He's seated right behind Angels owner Artie Moreno, right near the Angel dugout right now, and they're in conversation. Of course, there have been a lot of rumors flying around here, as they normally do late in spring training. Roster decisions and trade rumors and things like that. There's a toss to first, and Langerhans dives back to the bag.
We had a chance to have him on our open of our Fox Sports West show today, and you know, he answering the question of Bobby Abreu, all the rumors. He goes, well, he's an Angel right now, and he's in the lineup.
Right.
And that's all he said. Well said.
1-1 pitch, lifted in the air and hit well into right field. Chasing after it is Upton. He reaches up and he runs that one down. That was a nice running catch that takes him out near the rim of the track. So a long out off the bat of Callaspo. And Langerhans has to retreat back to first base now with 2 gone, and Iannetta will be the batter.
Let's not forget about Cayaspo. I mean, from day one of spring training, both sides of the plate there, he has been hitting line drives all over the place.
He's had a 2-run triple today and scored a run, Alberto Cayaspo. So Iannetta will bat. He's been on base a pair of times today. Reached on a fielder's choice. He's also had a hit. Right-hander against right-hander. It's Hernandez eyes the target of the catcher Miguel Montero.
Iannetta has an interesting loading system.
And he takes that one for a strike.
Talk about a short leg lift with his front leg. Has a little pause where he kind of suspends himself there. That's a timing mechanism. But at times he gets caught in between that lift and beginning his swing.
Here's the pitch, and he thought about chasing that one. That one misses a little bit low. Angels 8 runs, 11 hits. Diamondbacks 2 runs, 5 hits. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning here in Tempe. This is the next to last Angel home Cactus League game. The pitch, and that one is high. Snap throw to first, and Langerhans had a dive back to the bag.
Iannetta acquired by Jared Dipoto is Tyler Chatwood, who gave the Angels a nice lift last year. Was shipped to Colorado. And Chatwood had been having a tough spring so far for the Rockies.
Yeah, it does not appear that he is going to be on their opening day roster. But still a young pitcher with upside.
So he was fun to watch at times last year.
He was.
When he was around the plate, man, he was sharp.
2-1 pitch. Fouled off again, right side.
And I know we talked about interleague and how much we enjoyed watching him hit.
Yep. And if he does get a chance to pitch for the Rockies, especially if he's a starter somewhere down the road for them, he'll have a chance to swing bat a little bit more in the National League.
So that's how Iannetta landed with the Angels.
2-2 the count. Hernandez delivers. Iannetta fouls another one off. He's keeping them awake over there on the right side. Fans in the stands.
That ball must have come out with a jersey or something near that team store over there, did it? Jersey finder.
That's a new souvenir baseball in the team store you can buy right there. 2-2. A game used baseball.
Yeah. Value goes up. Never know.
Hit a toss over to first, and Langerhans dives back.
It's Terry, so the decision needs to be made on Ryan Langerhans.
Another non-roster guy, so that kind of works against him a bit. Here's the 2-strike delivery, and it's hit a mile high into shallow center field. Long run in for Young. Still waiting for it to come down. He'll squeeze it, and the inning is over. The Angels had the leadoff hit from Torrey Hunter, but that was it. No runs, 1 hit in the inning. No errors, and 1 runner left. We are headed to the 6th as we go there. Angels lead the Diamondbacks 8-2 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. We get ready to move to the 6th inning. The Angels have an 8-2 lead. They were doing a little workout on the pitcher's mound. That dirt a little bit hard right now, so they were kind of working on it, getting it to C.J. Wilson's liking. He is wrapping up his warm-up tosses. The Angels have made a lot of changes defensively, so let's keep you posted on the new look around the infield. Mark Trumbo has come in to take over at first base. Alexi Amarista is now playing second. Jorge Cantu is the third baseman, and Myceris Torres is at short. Doug Deeds is the new left fielder. The right fielder is Ryan Langerhans. Borges remains in center. Iannetta is still catching, and C.J. Wilson is still on the hill. Fans, Saboba Casino, Southern California's premier gaming and entertainment hotspot. Saboba Casino, voted the loosest slots in the Inland Empire 4 years running. Saboba Casino, where winning is just the beginning. 8-2 Angels, 6th inning we go here in Tempe. First pitch, chopped on the third base side. Cantu has it, throws across the diamond over to Trumbo, and Aaron Hill is an easy out. One quick out here in the 6th.
That's what you call hitting into the pitcher's hands right there. I mean, Hill goes up there looking something in, maybe forcing fastball. Wilson says, okay, he's looking in, but I'm going to go cut fastball in. It's not the type of swing you want to see first pitch from somebody that has power.
So the batter is Justin Upton. He's had a single and 2 times up. C.J. Wilson has surrendered 5 hits, 2 runs so far in this game. And the first delivery, it's in there for a strike. Here's the 0-1. Chop to the left of the mound, and that one goes right between the legs of his Torres, the new shortstop. So we'll see how that one is scored right there. That's going to be an error on Meiser at short.
Hit that ball to Meiser 100 times, and this might be the 1 or 2 times he doesn't make that play. Yeah, the ground is a little bit harder here. A lot of times infielders are caught thinking that ball's going to come up or stay down a little bit more. Just like we saw the work being done on the mound, as it gets hotter here, that top layer of the infield and the home plate area, the mound, starts cracking a little bit. You got to really bear down the later it gets in spring. And we also see of course, more bad hops here lately.
So at the plate is Montero, and he takes the first pitch, and that one is a ball to count. 1 ball, no strikes.
You know which field used to get a lot of cracks like that in about 10 years ago? Wrigley Field. Goodness. You saw craters in there. You're like, oh my goodness, don't hit the ball this way. Remember Ryan Sandberg telling me that. So you might see some craters there. Make sure they don't hit it to you.
1 ball, no strikes to count. Here's the next pitch, and that one misses for ball 2. It's now 2 balls, no strikes. Well, Wrigley Field is what the second oldest ballpark in the majors. Only Fenway Park is older, so I guess they got some old dirt there at Wrigley as well. It's an old park with old dirt.
Well, we know the Ivy's dirt. The dirt, I don't know.
Yep.
Ivy's pretty old. It dies and comebacks. That's the beauty of Wrigley.
Yep. Still a special ballpark to visit. I hope it's around for a long time to come.
We're extremely fortunate to get to see Fenway also every year. I mean, that's also always a special trip.
And Fenway is celebrating its 100th year.
Big time, yeah.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. That's low and outside. 3-0 to count.
I wish we had better memories of Fenway in terms of winning and losing, but I'll just remember 09. That was pretty special.
Yep.
Going there up 2 games and taking it 1. Big Daddy Blatty, a big base hit. Bobby Abreu, a big base hit. Kendricks had a home run that game. And that was after a poor outing by Scott Kazmir back in 09. The Angels really made that place quite quiet before moving on to the ALCS.
Pitch in there for a strike. Did Jared Weaver pitch in relief in that game?
He had done it before.
Yeah. But it was against the Red Sox. He worked in relief, which was a new twist. Of course, we've seen some strange things happen in the postseason as far as the way personnel has been used. There's a 3-1 pitch and misses ball 4, and Wilson walks his first batter.
In fact, Weaver pitched in relief and got the win on a series that we want to forget about. It's the famous botched suicide play.
All right.
Weaver got the win the day before, and Ibar got the game winner on that one. Yep, that's how good the rotation was. Weaver didn't make it.
He was a reliever. So Young will step to the plate. Chris Young today, double. He scored a run. He's also flied out. Here's Wilson's pitch, and that one is low and in, and it gets by Iannetta, and the two runners are going to advance. Iannetta got some glove on that, but that was a tough pitch to handle.
Looks like that ball was still in the air. Let's take a look. Yeah, this could be a pass ball here, and it is, and it should have been.
So that's how it'll be scored, pass ball.
That's good.
Runners at second and third. C.J. Wilson, who walked Montero, he's the runner at second now. That was the first walk issued by C.J. in this game, and only the third walk he's allowed this spring in 19 1/3 innings. The pitch, that one inside, didn't miss by much. 2 balls and no strikes. C.J.'s been a pitcher who's struggled at times with his control, and that has really not been the case this spring, which is a good sign. Walks have hurt him at times in the past.
Look at this. Mike Scioscia is going to change his strategy. He wants a little work for the infielders. Up by 6 runs. Infield in.
2-0 the count on Young. Next delivery right in there for a called strike. 2-1.
Just when your manager says, guys, I need to work on a few things here. The guy at third base is a good runner. The guy at home plate is a pretty good runner.
Outfield not too deep, especially Borges, the center fielder. Young has good power. Here's the pitch, and he hits one sharply right to his Taurus. Looks all the runners back and throws the first and easily gets Young. So he did not have any contact play on.
Oh, you don't want to do that. Down 6 runs, absolutely not. And the other thing is, Chris Young is thinking, man, what happened to that previous infield I saw before? That's an RBI. It's a good job by Meister Sturz this time getting down right by the grass, but got to get your work in somehow. That's what Mike Scioscia is thinking here with his new infield.
Iannetta just went out, had a word with C.J. Wilson. Here's Kubel, who's gone 0 for 2. He struck out. He's also hit into a double play. The double play ball was back in the 4th inning, and he hit it hard. He lined it right to Howie Kendrick, who was playing second at the time, and he fired to first to double up Montero. Here's the pitch, and that one a little bit low and in on Kubel. 1 ball, no strikes.
His former ball club's doing all right, 16-12 in the spring. Over in Florida, the Minnesota Twins, and the Twins will be the second ball club the Angels will see during the regular season, as the Angels will visit Target Field.
Will be the first road opponent of the regular season for the Angels, as that pitch is in there on Kubel. He was taking a strike. 1-1 the count.
Kubel, one of those players that really missed hitting at the Metrodome. Homer's paradise.
Here's the next delivery. He lines one into right field. There, lunging forward and making the grab on it is Langerhans, and that will end the inning. That was a sinking line drive that was just caught by the new Angel right fielder. In the inning, they threatened but failed to score. No runs. They didn't have a hit in the inning. There was an error walk, and runners left at second and third. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Angels lead by 6, 8-2 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. As we get ready to move to the bottom of the 6th inning, the Angels have an 8-2 lead. Let's pause for station identification on the Angels Baseball Network. We get set to move to the bottom of the 6th inning, and the first batter up for the Angels is Peter Borges. Had a couple of changes for the D-backs, and the pitch, that one is fouled off on the left side, and the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Ray Hernandez is the new pitcher. And Jose, he's David Hernandez's brother.
Yes, he is. So a proud brother watching the other one on the mound. So it's nice. Back-to-back, too. He's a minor leaguer invited to camp today.
Here's the pitch on its way. That one misses low for a ball.
He's going to be correcting everything his brother does out there. Wow. He's out of the game, taking a closer look out there in that dugout.
This is the first game he's appeared in for the D-backs this spring. They also have a new catcher in the ball game. The veteran Henry Blanco takes over for Miguel Montero behind the plate. Here's the pitch. Peter swings and lifts one high and hits it well into left field. Chasing after it is Parra. It's out by the wall and off the wall. Stopping at second base after a big turn is Borges. The ball got away momentarily at third base, but Peter will stay at second, and he is there with his first hit today. A leadoff double here in the Angels' bottom of the 6th.
Hanging breaking ball, and Peter was right on this one. It was a fine job, not just using his body, but the hands at the last minute. Quick explosion through the zone. And we know he has the ability to drive the ball. That's why so many triples last year. Plenty of extra base hits. And when we saw him hit balls out of the ballpark, Terry, you and I recall, he's hit some line drive shots out of there.
So the Angels have a runner at second, and Myceris Torres lines a ball that's caught by Goldschmidt, the first baseman. He fires to second to the shortstop Bloomquist, and they double up Peter Borges at second base. Peter was on the move. He was standing at third base. Still wasn't sure what had happened, but he is doubled up easily, and just like that, 2 quick outs.
A lot easier to absorb that when you're up by 6 runs. Aggressive play there by Peter. A nice piece of hitting by Sturris. Nothing new.
So the batter now is Mark Trumbo. Kind of a new look for Trumbo, hitting out of the 2-hole here. This is his first at bat of the game. He came in defensively for Pujols, and he's inserted in Howie Kendrick's number 2 spot in the batting order. 0-1 the count. The next pitch, he pops it up foul behind the plate. Blanco is going back, might have a play, and makes the catch right near Angels manager Mike Socha, and then he flips the ball to Socha, and the inning is over.
Nice to be together with the Dodger organization.
There you go. So the pop out ends it off the bat of Trumbo, and the Angels are retired quickly by Ray Hernandez here in the bottom of the 6th inning. He throws only 7 pitches. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. 7th inning is next. 8-2 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. We get ready to move to inning number 7. C.J. Wilson still on the hill for the Angels as he delivers his first pitch, and that one on John McDonald, veteran utility infielder, batting for the first time today. Misses for a ball to count. 1 ball, no strikes. McDonald is hitting out of Paul Goldschmidt's number 7 spot, and he takes that one for a strike. It's 1-1. McDonald is another guy that's kind of in the mix along with Bloomquist to get some playing time while Stephen Drew recovers from his injury from a year ago.
This hitter right here, this guy can play some shortstop, let me tell you. Former Toronto Blue Jay, former Indian.
2 balls, 1 strike. Very good defensive player, John McDonald, and the pitch that's high and outside. Fans, we want to remind you one of the most popular giveaways of the season is coming up on April the 7th. The Angels take on the Kansas City Royals with game time at 1:10 in the afternoon. All fans in attendance receive an Angels Big A fleece blanket courtesy of State Farm while supplies last. To purchase your tickets, visit the Angels Stadium ticket office or angels.com. The 3-1 pitch. Hit sharply to short, bobbled slightly by Torres, recovers, throws, and nips McDonald for the out. Meister didn't give up on that one. He had some trouble with it, but makes the play.
Look how quickly the ball got to him. Here comes Mike Scioscia. That's it.
So C.J. Wilson's day is done. He was slated to make 90 pitches, and we'll get his pitch count, give you his numbers when we get back. The Angels are going to the bullpen. There's a pitching change with 1 out here in the 7th inning. Angels have an 8-2 lead, and we'll be back with more Angels baseball in a moment on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. New pitcher for the Angels, 25-year-old right-hander Justin Latempa. He is a Southern California native. In fact, he went to Huntington Beach High School. He now resides in Newport Beach. The Angels drafted him out of the University of Oregon. 12th selection in the 2010 June draft.
I see the connection between he and Hank Conger.
Latempa pitched last year at Cedar Rapids, where he was used mostly as a starter, although he did pitch a little bit in relief. And now we're getting a change as far as the Angel pitchers. So we'll clarify it to make sure we have the right Angel pitcher on the mound, as that one misses a little bit low.
Welcome to spring training. Here we go.
The pitcher is wearing number 83. 1 ball, 1 strike is the count. A.J. Pollock is the batter. Here's the pitch.
You know, this is, in fact, David Pauly is who's on the mound. Now that I see the face.
Yep. Here's a ball lifted in the air into right field. And Langerhans is there to make the catch on that one, and that's going to be the second out. Yeah, David Pauly, who the Angels just signed a few days ago, he was on the board to be pitching. And
recall that phase with the Mariners and the Tigers. He's let go this spring by the Tigers, surprisingly. At one point, in the middle of the year, he was one of the most effective seventh-inning guys.
So Pauly, who last year pitched for Seattle and Detroit, and had a 3.16 ERA, delivers the next pitch, and that one's a little bit low. He'll throw a fastball, a sinker. He has a curve and changeup. He's known as a fast worker, and he has the sign as he works exclusively from the stretch here and delivers. And that one is high. Well, maybe we'll see Justin LaTempa another time in an Angel uniform. He came so close, I guess. Had the right number, but the wrong guy.
Yeah, we apologize for any family member or friend listening or watching. But you know what? That's what happened in spring training. We're at number 83, and we try to find it as quick as possible.
And the wrong pitcher was announced here to the fans. Here's a bouncer that's hit right back to Pauly, and David Pauly fields it and throws over to first base in time, and he comes in and does a nice job retiring a couple batters in a hurry in relief of C.J. Wilson. A quiet seventh inning for the visitors. The Diamondbacks, no runs, hits, or errors in the inning. Nobody left. We are headed to the bottom of the seventh inning stretch time. Still 8-2 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network at Sports West. A host of changes for the Diamondbacks. We'll get to those in just a moment. Their new pitcher is Brad Ziegler, a former Oakland A's pitcher, and the first delivery, that one is a pitch inside for a ball on Alexi Amarista. He's batting for the first time today. He's hitting out a Albert Pujols spot in the batting order. Here's the next pitch. That is low and inside. It's now 2 balls, no strikes. They'll set up the new infield look for the D-backs after the 2-0, and that is outside ball 3. Lyle Overbay is the new first baseman. The veteran John McDonald stays in the game. He's playing second. Here's the next pitch, and the 3-0 right in there for a called strike. They have Chris Owens playing shortstop, and the new third baseman for Arizona is Ryan Wheeler. The pitch that's bounced by the mound, and that one's going to skip through into center field. So Amarista, who's been swinging a hot bat all spring, gets a hit his first time up today.
Came into the game, Terry came into the game hitting .333 with a .347 on base percentage, .583 slugging.
So Morales is still the DH for at least one more at bat. And he's looking for his first hit today. He's been kind of quiet. 0 for 3, a fly out, a ground out, and a strikeout. Ziegler is ready. And the Submariner delivers that one for a strike. In the outfield, the new left fielder is A.J. Pollock. In center field is Keon Broxton. And the new right fielder is Ryan Lipinski. No balls, one strike on Morales. The pitch. He chops one on the right side. This could be two. Flip to second. The relay to first. It is a double play. Easy double play. 4-6-3 on the twin killing, and just like that, two are gone here in the Angels' seventh.
This is about as out of sync as I've seen Kendrys Morales here this spring. Remember, he came into this game 10 for 16. He's allowed to not square balls here and there, but what Arizona has done to him, Terry, is a lot of off-speed pitches. He has hit 3 balls off the end of the bat. Kendry, if you're going to hit fourth, get used to that.
So two are gone with no one on. And at the plate swinging and fouling a pitch off on the right side is Langerhans. This is his first time up.
This game has a tendency to really bring you back down to earth very quickly.
It can.
And humble you.
Well,
in any respect.
Here's the pitch that's low and outside. Well, of course, the beauty of baseball is you play basically every day, where in other sports you might play once a week or 3 times a week. And in baseball, you can be the hero one day, the next day the GOAT, or vice versa. The pitch, that one is low and outside.
Make sure you don't get too high or get too low, because the next day, man, that ball's going to find you. You're going to be in the tough situation of win a game, and if you're not mentally there and thinking about yesterday, forget about it.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. Lifted in the air into center field. Broxton, the new center fielder, is chasing, still chasing, and that one is out of here. It's a home run. Broxton ran out of room. A home run off the bat of Langerhans as he will touch them all. The Angels extend the lead. It's now 9-2.
I know we talked about Bobby Abreu needing a lift from those 2 base hits he got early. This guy right here needed a lift. He got some serious lift and some backspin. Langerhans came into that at bat hitting only 190. And that is good to see. And I bet you another thing, Terry, I bet he's happy to see a righty on the mound.
Yeah. He gets his first home run, just second RBI of the spring. Here's Cantu grounding a ball to short. It's right at Owens, and he will throw to first, and the inning will end. So in the inning, the Angels get 1 run on the Langerhans homer. 2 hits in the inning, no errors, nobody left. 8th inning is coming up. 9-2 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans, Welk Resorts and Angels Radio AM 830 have teamed up to bring you the official AM 830 fan club. Get AM 830 event and team news and updates all season long. Log on to am830fanclub.com. That's am830fanclub.com. New pitcher for the Angels. David Pauly faced just 2 batters, making his Angel debut, and he is done for the day. LaTroy Hawkins will take over in relief. The veteran right-hander looks in for the sign as he faces Ryan Wheeler, leading things off here for the Diamondbacks in the 8th inning. It's 9-2 Angels, and the first pitch of ball, it's 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, LaTroy Hawkins will be joined now officially by Jason Isringhausen, who has made the ball club. So 2 savvy veterans, Terry, who have gone through the fires for years, will be helping out Jordan Walden, united with Scott Downs and Takahashi. A lot of veterans out there.
Yep. That foursome right there. A lot of experience, of course, in the case of Takahashi. A lot of it in Japan, although he's been in the States now for a few years. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Hawkins ready. Here's his next pitch, and that one is cut on and missed for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Troy Hawkins in that Satchel Paige look. Love it.
Troy Hawkins, if I'm not mistaken, he has a godson who is playing for the University of Kansas basketball team. So LaTroy is a big Jayhawks fan. They're going to play Ohio State in the Final Four.
Ooh, wait a minute. The Ohio State University?
Oh, you have Doug Deeds out there in left field for the Angels right now, a former Buckeye.
Terry, just know I'm with you all the way, man. Okay.
2-2 is the count here on Wheeler. And next pitch, that one is popped up foul on the left side, out of play. Jose, we were told during the half-inning break of an interesting text message that came through here to Tempe Diablo Stadium just a few minutes ago.
Isn't that beautiful? We're talking about the armed forces, you know, and thanking them, and this game being watched by so many all around the world. And the lady behind one of our cameras on the field gets a text from her husband in Afghanistan.
Right, positioned in Afghanistan.
Man, that is great.
There's one that's fouled back behind the plate.
Can't say it enough. Thank you for your service. And I'm glad we have baseball as a common ground to talk about and relate to and always bring hope.
Right, and for all those servicemen and women who are abroad, we hope to have you back in the States as soon as possible.
Now we got to tell your story because you have a pretty neat story too. We got to Nimitz.
Right, talked about that a little bit earlier. There's a pitch that's high and away, 3-2. A few years ago, Tim Meade arranged a trip for a number of us in the Angels organization. We were flown onto the USS Nimitz. It was at sea, somewhere in the Pacific Ocean. We had no idea where.
We're in the dark.
Right, and we were on the Nimitz for a couple of days, spent a couple of nights on the USS Nimitz. We were with all the servicemen. The Navy treated us like royalty. We had a chance to watch the fighter planes take off and land under the cover of darkness.
Oh my goodness.
It was a phenomenal experience, and something that if you're a civilian, you'll remember the rest of your life. It might become somewhat mundane for those that are on those ships, but not for us who had a chance to visit. Here's a high fly ball that's lifted in the air to right field. Easy play for Langerhans as he went chasing after it, and the batter is retired. So Hawkins setting down the hitter, and stepping up to the plate now for Arizona will be Broxton as he gets ready to bat for the first time. He's hitting out of Aaron Hill's spot. One gone here in the 8th. Angels are up 9-2. Here's the pitch, and that one is right in there for a called strike. Broxton came in. He's a speedy outfielder. He's playing center field. Keon Broxton, the pitch. He takes that one for a called strike. By the way, our attendance today here in Tempe, another sellout, the 9th this spring for the Angels. 9,580, 9580. And that pushes the Angels spring home attendance to over 120,000, 120,587 as Broxton rips that ball down the right field side, and he can run. He will hustle into second base, and he is there with the double. So a runner at second base, one away. Talking about the Angels' spring training attendance. The Angels' previous high as far as spring training attendance, that mark was set in 2008, and that was a little over 118,000. Now the Angels at 120,000 plus, with one more Cactus League game remaining, and that game will be on Sunday, and we're told that game is a sellout, so we'll have some 9,500 plus for that one as well.
Wonderful, and how the fans have responded. I think we got a sense of this being a possibility way back in mid-December, right?
Yep.
After a big press conference with the Big A, beautiful December day.
At the plate, bouncing the ball on the right side is Ryan Lepensi, and it's fielded by Trumbo, who will beat him to the bag for the second out. On the play, Broxton moves over to third. He's there with two away. Unassisted put out for the Angels' first baseman. Henry Blanco will bat. Blanco is hitting out of Montero's spot, the starting catcher. Montero today went 1 for 2 with a single, walk, and a strikeout. Here's the pitch, and he takes that one up and in. 1 ball, no strikes.
Mike Socha got to meet Henry Blanco when he was a young third base prospect with Dodger organization. Last we saw Blanco flipping the ball to Mike after he caught that foul ball near the netting earlier. He's still around as a great catcher, great catch and throw guy.
Here's the pitch, and he pops this one up on the third base side. Cantu waiting for it to come down across from third base, still on the dirt. He'll put it away, and the inning is over. Nice inning for LaTroy Hawkins. He sets down 3 of 4. No runs, a hit, no errors, and in the inning, 1 runner left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Angels have a 7-run lead. It's 9-2 Halos on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans, don't forget at Jiffy Lube, they do so much more than just oil changes. And with over 120 Jiffy Lube locations throughout Southern California, you can always find one near you. Visit JiffyLubeSoCal.com for the location nearest you. That's JiffyLubeSoCal.com. Brett Lauren is the new pitcher, and he is a big right-hander. In his first pitch on Doug Deed, swinging from the left side, he takes it for a ball. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Deeds batting out a Cayaspo spot. Alberto went 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs today as Deeds fouls that one back behind home. And we've seen Doug Deeds this spring. He's had 3 hits in 18 times up, a couple of RBIs. All the hits have been singles. The 1-1 pitch, and he checks his swing and rolls one to second. McDonald has it. His throw will easily get him, and that's the first out.
Well, that Salt Lake City team is rounding out to be a pretty good one, too. Mike Trout has been optioned to Salt Lake City, and so is Brad Mills, lefty, who has been tremendous for the Angels here in big league camp.
Number 17, Chris.
Mike Socha was saying a couple days ago that the Angels thinking on Mills right now. They weren't going to consider him for a bullpen spot on the opening day roster because they want him to continue starting, and he just wasn't going to be on the club when the season began in a starting role. For that matter, neither is Richards or Jerome Williams, because the Angels won't need a 5th starter until the 2nd week in April. So we'll see how it all plays out, who ends up becoming the 5th starter for the Angels.
That being said, Garrett Richards takes him out tomorrow against the Cubs, against lefty Paul Maholm.
And Jerome Williams is going to pitch tomorrow in a minor league game for the Angels.
Remember, there's some technicalities here too. Jerome Williams is better off throwing minor league games, because that way, if you have to begin him on the disabled list, you have that retroactive time.
That'll speed up the clock.
So any start he makes in the minor leagues when the season begins becomes a rehab start.
Right.
Keep him ready, get him stretched out.
There's a pitch that's outside on Ionette on a 3-1, and he is aboard with a 1-out walk. So he's been on base 3 times today. 1 hit, a walk. He's also reached on a fielder's choice.
I give a lot of credit, Terry, to Mike Butcher. You know, the job he does with the Angels pitchers, communicating with them on a personal level, understanding each one of them. He's a great listener. He tells me one of the first things I try to do is listen to them before I say anything about adjustments, mechanics, any of that stuff. Then he goes to work. But well, Mike Butcher did it here. Well, he's done it here. He also did it for the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yep.
It's a fine job.
Travis Witherspoon is the batter. This is his first time up today. He is a right-handed hitter. We've seen him a little bit this spring. The pitch. That one is in there for a called strike. Witherspoon has had 5 at-bats for the Angels this spring. 1 single and 1 run batted in. Speedy young outfielder. He's in the hole, 0-2 on Lauren. Here's the next pitch, grounded on the left side. The third baseman has it, goes to second, relay to first, and a turn, a double play. So they've done it in each of the last 3 innings against the Angels. For the Angels here in the bottom of the 8th, no runs, hits, or errors, a walk, but nobody left. We are headed to the 9th. The Angels in command against the D-backs, leading at 9-2 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. New pitcher for the Angels as we go to the 9th inning. Hisanori Takahashi will be coming in, trying to get the final 3 outs. Fans, the opening weekend is approaching fast. The 2012 season kicks off a week from tonight. Friday night, April the 6th, the Angels take on Kansas City with game time at 7:05. Opening night will include a pregame flyover and the first Big Bang Friday of the season. Don't miss out on this exciting night and the opening weekend. Purchase your tickets at the Angels Stadium ticket office or at angels.com. Takahashi facing Chris Owings, who grounds the first pitch to third, bobbled slightly by Cantu, and he can't get the handle, so no throw. And that will be an error on the Angels' third baseman. So the Angels commit error number 2 today. Owings is on to start the inning off. He was hitting out a Chris Young spot in the batting order. Young went 1 for 3. Jason Kubel has been the DH, will stay in the game for his 4th at bat today. He's gone 0 for 3 so far. We'll run down some scores for you around the Grapefruit League and the Cactus League in just a moment as Takahashi delivers lefty against lefty to pitch in there for a strike. In Florida today in the Grapefruit League, Boston beat a Minnesota split squad 9-7. Cody Ross a pair of home runs. He has 6 of them this spring for the Red Sox. Adam Jones hit his 4th home run for Baltimore, but they lost to Detroit 6-4. Pitch fouled back on the left side. The other Twin split squad beat Toronto 4-1. Chris Parmelee hit a home run. He's had 4 this spring. Cardinals beat the Mets 4-3. Tampa Bay and the Pirates played to a 3-3 tie. Casey McGee hit a home run for the Buccos in that one, his first one this spring. In the Cactus League, bottom of the 8th inning, Cleveland leads Cincinnati 5-1. Santana home run for the Tribe is 4th, and Asdrubal Cabrera hit one for Cleveland as well. Next pitch fouled off to the left side by Kubel. It's no balls, 2 strikes. In the top of the 8th inning, a Dodgers split squad leading the Cubs 4-1. In the top of the 8th inning, the other Dodgers split squad leading Milwaukee 4-2. Ethier with home run number 3 this spring. Ryan Braun has hit his 2nd for the Brewers. Here in Tempe, it's 9-2 Angels leading the Diamondbacks. The pitch grounded foul on the right side. Jose has made his way downstairs. He'll be chatting with Angels manager Mike Scioscia right after the ball game. You'll have a chance to listen to that interview if you're on the Angels Baseball Network. Hear it and watch it on Fox Sports West. 0-2 the count on Kubel. Another big offensive day for the Angels with 9 runs and 14 hits. The pitch, that's low. And the count 1-2. The Angels have scored 20 runs and banged out 34 hits the last 2 days here in Tempe. Kubel battling against Takahashi, who's had a nice spring for the Angels. He's done a good job. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fouled back again. Takahashi has pitched well, as I mentioned, this spring. This is his 6th outing in 8 innings. He has yet to allow a run. He's given up only 3 hits. He hasn't walked any. 0 ERA. He's set, and the 1-2 pitch skied in the air into right center field. Let's see who's going to take charge. It looks like Witherspoon will call for it and make the grab, and that'll be the first out. 1 gone here in the 9th. John McDonald is slated to bat for the 2nd time since coming into the game. Fans, the Angels have just released exclusive club level season seats. These padded and spacious seats are a great way to take in the action. Seats include access to the Knot Hole restaurant and exclusive club level amenities. To purchase these great seats, call 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com. Here's the pitch, and that one is high and away, ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Over 9,500 on hand today, and the Angels 2 outs away from another win here in the Cactus League. It would be the 17th for the Angels this spring as the pitch is missed. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. The Angels came in with the second highest win total in the Cactus League. Surprisingly, San Diego, the most wins of any team in the Cactus League. Oakland had been winning a lot of games in the Cactus League before they went out to Japan. And there's a swing and a miss by McDonald, 1-2. One ball, two strikes. Takahashi set, gets the sign from Iannetta. Here's the next pitch, and that pitch he was checking on and missed for a ball. Tomorrow, when the Angels are in action against the Cubs, that game will be in Mesa. Garrett Richards against Paul Mahalam, and then the final Cactus League game for the Angels Sunday right here in Tempe. It'll be Jared Weaver against the Cubs' Chris Rusin. 2-2 pitch. Cut on and missed. Down on strikes goes McDonald. Struck him out. 2 gone here in the 9th. So Takahashi looking to get the final out in this ball game. The batter is A.J. Pollock. This is his first time up today. He's hitting out of Brian Roberts' number 8 spot. He replaced him at third base as well, and he chops the ball right to short. This should do it. Easy hop for his Torres. Flips to second. It is in time to force out Owings, and the ball game is over on the 6-4 fielder's choice. So a good win across the board for the Angels today here as they come away with the victory over the Diamondbacks, beating Arizona by the final score of 9-2. Solid pitching today from C.J. Wilson. He worked into the 7th inning in this ball game, and we'll run down some of his numbers and take a look inside some of the other numbers of the Angel players as well. But another strong offensive game, as I mentioned, for the Halos with 14 hits. Angels in today's ball game had 3 home runs, had homers today from Kendrick, Pujols, and Langerhans in the victory here against Arizona. 9-2 the final. The Angels coming away with the win. Jose Mota will be joined by Angels manager Mike Scioscia in just a moment. They'll talk about today's Angel victory here in Tempe, and let's go down to Jose.
Thank you very much, Terry. Mike, your team is about competing. That's the attitude you want to see, but what have you learned from a competitor named C.J. Wilson this spring?
Well, you know, he was a little bit off today, had good stuff, got ahead of hitters, but then gave the counts right back. So even though it was a little bit erratic, you know, it's a pretty good lineup over there, and he made pitches and got into the 7th inning, which was good.
As your lineup gets a little deeper, some great passes at the ball today by Torrey Hunter and Bobby Abreu. As a manager this late in spring, how does that make you feel?
Well, you know, definitely Bobby needs to find his timing, needs to find his rhythm. It was good to see him use the middle of the field early in the count. He just missed one to left field early in the game. He's working hard to try to find it, and Torrey has definitely come alive in the last 10 at-bats or so.
With the addition officially of Jason Isringhausen to the roster, you have the veterans in Hawkins and Takahashi. What does that bring besides the fact of the experience, but what they can mean for you later in the ballgame?
Well, experience is just going to take you so far, Jose. We need that tangible production on the mound that they're going to bring. And Izzy's stuff is picked up. We feel that he's going to be a guy that fits in our bullpen. How well he pitches will determine how far back he gets into it. But there's still upside with him. We need him to get on the mound to get outs, and that's what he showed he could do last year. Good to see Kirk Gibson on the other side. Yeah, Gibby, good to catch up with a lot of those guys. Gibby and Charlie, Nagy, and you know, Don Baylor. They're great baseball men. Thank you, Mike. All right, Jose. Thank you. Terry, back to you. All right, thanks, Jose. The Angels come away with the victory today, beating the Diamondbacks, a team they'll square up against in interleague play during the regular season. 9-2, the Angels with the win today here in Tempe. For those of you watching on TV, Jose, Victor Rojas, and Mark Gubasa will have a lot more post-game analysis. And here on the radio side, we'll have more from Tempe as well. This is the Angels Baseball Network.